Hi, I'm Susan.
And I'm Beth, and we are the
2/2 Stitchers. Hi, everyone.
Hello! So this is our very first Flosstube, so we're just going to say up front, pardon our mess. We're going to start this for the first time ever, so I'm sure you'll see lots of blunders today, but
For sure.
show us some grace today, folks,
For
please. This is a YouTube channel all about
Cross-stitching. Yes, cross-stitching, finishes, whips, you name it, we'll show it.
There you go. So Susan, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I've been cross-stitching for probably 35 years or more. Started when I was in high school. I'm married with 4 grown children and just love to cross-stitch in my free time.
Cool. So I've been stitching for about 30 years, I guess. Gosh, that shows my age, right?
Yes.
Shoo-wee.
Both of us.
I am married. My wife and I are a blended family, and we have 3 adult children and loads of grandbabies. That's awesome.
And we should say how we met, because we met on Facebook.
We did.
And both of us actually needed shoulder surgery, and I said to Beth, hey, I don't know you and I'm a stranger, but maybe you should use my ice machine.
Because we have the same hairdresser, right?
Same hairdresser, same surgery, never knew each other.
Yeah.
And then we started our Northwest Indiana Needle Nerds cross-stitch group together.
Right. So there's a group of us now. There are like about 35 of us, I think, on the Facebook group, but literally there are typically 8 of us that consistently meet up and stitch together.
And we tried, well, pre-COVID, we tried to meet twice a month. We would meet at Panera Bread, and we would also meet at our house or at a library. Post-virus, because we're not supposed to say the C word, I guess, we now meet when we can. We talk a lot through our Facebook group, through Messenger, and we're always showing each other either our haul, our whips.
Yeah, something
good like that.
Yeah, something to just keep us going, right? Encourage everybody.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So Susan, you want to start and show us your whips?
Sure. So
these are the things you've worked on since July 1st, is that right?
Oh, no. These are the things that I need to work on since July 1st. Since July 1st, and I went back to work, I've been working extraordinary amount of hours. So my cross-stitching is very little this last 3 weeks, but I'm hoping that if I show these, this will encourage me to keep going. So the first one that I've put some time into is by Heartstring Samplery. This is Words to Live By, and this is Love. And this is the Bible verse from 1 Corinthians. And I really liked this Bible verse because it was in my wedding to my husband. And pardon the no ironing, but I'm doing it on a 32 or 28 count linen with just one color thread that is variegated. And I love the variegation, and you'll soon find out that I like anything beachy, oceany. So this is why I picked this color. When I started, I originally told myself I would do 1 word a night. As you can see, that has not happened, but I'd like to get back into the groove of this. Even if I do 2 letters a night, that would make me happy. And I would love to frame this and put this in our bedroom. So that's my first whip. My second whip that needs attention greatly is October by Cricket Collection. Now, this was supposed to be a stitch along with my dear friend Jennifer Upton. And we started this 2 years ago, Jen. 2 years ago. Jen was nice enough to even give me the silks to start the O in October. And you can see how far I got with this. We just started the O. We have the cat. Now, in my defense, this fabric is an overdyed fabric, and it's beautiful coloring, beautiful modeling. But the problem is, I think I bought it as a 32. I think when they dyed it, I swear it shrunk because it seems smaller. So when I started to do this black cat in 2/2, it was too bulky and I hated it. So I literally ripped it all out, and now it's 1/1. And then the letters. So for the rest of the chart, I'm going to do 2/2 on the lettering And then I'm going to do 1/2 on all the little accoutrements, like the little headstone and the little house and the little skeleton. And we'll see how this goes. But this is in need of much attention as well. My focus has been lacking on the big projects. This next project is called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. It's by Michelle Ink Designs. I bought this off of Stash and Load, and it's dated 2014. And again, I'm a beach lover, and I had never seen this chart before. So I decided to do it all on this very loose weave linen. And again, just using 2 colors of floss that are variegated.
It's very pretty.
And I was really making great progress on this as well, and then I went back to work. So again, that if I focused on this, I would probably get it done in a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. And then my final whip that I'm working on, this is way too cute. Fancy That. I'm an avid Fancy That fan. Some of the pieces that I'll show you as we go through vintage stitches, I've got some that I did 20 years ago perhaps. And I purchased this chart along with the fabric that is finished on the edges for the bell pull. And I'm not using the called for colors as much as I can. I'm really just pulling out a stash, so I honestly don't know exactly what colors I'm using.
That is so cute.
Thank you. I love this. I think it's so cute. I love the yellows. I love the chickens.
And I don't think that on camera it shows up as well, but the yellow chick at the top and the egg,
There we go.
That shows up really well in person.
And it's variegated really well.
Yes, it is. It's got a wonderful dimension to it.
Thank you. So those are the whips that I would say need my most attention. Since I went back to work, really what I've been working on is smaller whips, maybe some ornaments, maybe cube finishes. I did a couple 4th of July ones for cube finishes, but that's about it.
We're jiggling. Oh, the table's jiggling. We're sorry. We're newbies, folks. Okay, just bear with us for the first time.
So Beth has been more productive than I've been.
Well, in all fairness, though, you've been able to go back to work, and I have not. So I've had a lot more time to stitch than you have. Okay, in all fairness, and I don't have kids or anybody at home anymore, so my life is really simple. All I have to do is stitch and visit with my spouse. That's about it. So,
which sounds wonderful.
It is. It's lovely. I really am blessed. So I have been participating in Jolly July. So just about everything. There's one thing here I'm going to show you that is not Christmas or winter related, but everything else pretty much is. So the first one I'm going to show you that I've been working on is the popsicle cart from the Snow Village. So there's the chart. I am doing this on the 32 count, I think it's French Country Rain, that is part of the I'm participating in the Keepsakes thing where they auto ship you, and
nice.
they auto ship you the chart and the fabric.
How nice.
Every time. I have 2 of them in my haul that I'll show you later as well. So that's the first one. I hope to really have this finished this week still. Those go by pretty quickly.
Very cute.
So this is my other one, 'Twas the Night by Sue Hillis Designs. This was a Mania 2020 start that I started. For Mania, I had basically done the partial bottom corner here of the what do you call that, border, as well as the word heart or heads at the bottom. I can't read backwards very well. And this is where I'm at with that so far. This is on a piece of 28 count something from my stash. So the yellow border does show up pretty well in person, but it does not show up as great on the camera, I would say. You agree with that?
I think so. And I've seen this piece completely finished.
Right.
I believe it is Little Yellow House Stitcher.
Okay, all right.
I think her name's Nell. But she showed this, I believe, last year before She had her last little baby, and I think he's a year old now. But she had finished it, beaded it, and it is so beautiful.
Yeah, there are
once it's
some
finished.
beads and some Kreinik on it as well. I will save the beads and Kreinik for last. Also around the border, you'll see that in these leaf motifs, there are some berries that are also stitched that I'm waiting till the end to stitch because they're a little bit more confetti heavy. So I'd rather just wait and do all of them together when I'm done.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then my third whip that I have is, this is not a Christmas stitch at all. It's My Heart Can Rest by Blackbird Designs. Blackbird is my very favorite designer ever in the whole world. If there is one designer I would say I can't live without, if all the rest of them had to disappear, I would be heartbroken if I couldn't stitch on Blackbird's.
Oh.
It's my favorite. So this is what the inside looks like. It shows the whole thing a lot better. And typically I am a 28 or 32 count stitcher, 2/2. But in preparation for the September rollout of Coming to America, I think, I'm trying to get used to stitching on some smaller count fabric.
And that's so pretty.
This is 36 count butter pecan.
Oh, that's so pretty.
And it is stitched 1 thread over 2. The border here, the edging, doesn't show up very well on the camera, but it does show up pretty well in person. It's still pretty muted, but I really like it. I think it'll be perfect when it's done. This here is getting close to the bottom, so I don't have much further to go. I'm hoping to at least get the rest of the border done this week so that I can make sure my border kind of matches up before I start on the other things.
We have 2 very noisy Yorkies. This is Ted.
Hello.
Say hi, Ted.
Say hi. Yeah, hi.
And come here, Ruby. Ruby's even smaller but more noisy.
Okay.
I'm going to go get them a treat.
There you go. Okay, we're back. Thank you for holding on with us while we had to deal with the
We
pups.
gave the dogs peanut butter bones.
There
so
you go.
hopefully that will keep them quiet for a little bit.
So, do you have some finishes you want to show?
Yes, so I have some, let's call vintage finishes because I don't know how long it's been. Again, these are all going to be beach themed finishes that I'm showing. This is from Cricket Collection. It is part of a beach series chart, and this is the little carrot mermaid. And she does have beading here. When I finished this, I had first started watching Priscilla and Chelsea and learned to do my own finishes. And this is stitched on a 32 count lilac linen. A little bit of Kreinik in there, a little bit of beads, but I thought she was really cute. And she sits up on the mantle behind me, so you'll see her soon. The next finish I have is a little cute Lizzie Kate that I framed into a beach chair. And I'm not a fancy framer. Yep, you can see it. That's the fabric sticking out of the back. But it works.
It's so cute, though.
It works. Probably not the called for colors. I just decided to pick what I had out of my stash. But it looks cute sitting on my fireplace. The next one is Hands-On Design, Kathy Haberman. And this is Oh Say Can You See? And this is stitched on a light gray Lugana. And I put the little pins at the top. The little frame is probably from Kohl's or Hobby Lobby. And it just hooks right there at the top. And again, this just sits in my family room with all the rest of the ocean stuff.
Let me see the front of that again. I just saw Nisi Lynn. She's a Flosstuber. She had done these, but not this pattern, but she had taken this board that you have here, and she had added 2 more to it and fastened them on the back. So she had a longer board to do the Long May She Wave series on.
Oh, that
really
would be
cute.
so cute.
Yeah, that was really cute.
And again, this just has a back and just sits regular. I did enter this piece into the county fair last year, and I think it did get first place, so I was excited. Probably because of the cute fish pins on the top.
I think that is so cute. I always love the pin concept, but I don't always know where to put them or what to do with them.
I know. You have to kind of copy what others do.
Yeah.
And then this is actually my latest finished piece. This is Beachy Time by Cricket Collection. I used the called for colors, and this is on Star Sapphire Lugana, 28 count. And the E is somewhat hard to see, so after I stitched it, my husband said he couldn't see the E. I outlined it with one strand. I did use the little buttons with the sand dollars and stars. And in the original pattern, it is the boat is more red, white, and blue. And I decided to keep it softer in coloring to match my living room, so it's more of a coral and a teal color. But other than that, I used called for. And I had this framed at Michael's, our local Michael's, and they do a really nice job for me there. The gal who's in charge of framing always tells me when they have sales, so I always know when to go, and I've got coupons. But she knows that I'm pretty particular about framing, so she really does an amazing job for me.
I love that. That is so pretty. It really is.
So I'm excited. This hangs in my kitchen.
That is so cute.
And you've got finishes.
I do. I don't have any fully finished FFOs, but these finishes I'm going to show you, believe it or not, I really did start them on July 1st or after, and I finished them already.
She's been
a hot needle,
on fire.
Right? Okay, so the first set I'm going to show you are some things I've done out of Lizzie Kate's Tiny Tidings 5. I've done 2 of those so far that I'm going to show you. I have not used any of the called for colors per se because they are just Christmas ornaments. I've just dug through my stash and used what I had on
Perfect.
hand. The first one is this little snowman guy. I love him. I think he is so cute. And the other one that I finished out of that is the reindeer. This says, just say ho.
And that's 2 over 2, right?
Those are 2 over 2.
Okay.
This is 32 count petit point raw, I believe.
Okay.
So I will say this. I originally had these all cut to stitch the Glitter House series on. And I started stitching the first one for Mania, and I did not like it. Because while the houses showed up fine, the trees and the other whatnots around the houses really got lost in this fabric. And the other thing I will say about this fabric is I don't like it, and I will never buy it again.
I have to say, I tried the same thing, and I don't like it, and I should say this. I tried stitching smaller items on it like you originally did. And I love your idea of doing Lizzie Kate designs on it. And that's probably what I'm going to use it for and make some ornaments that are easier, bigger blocks.
Bigger blocks of color work well on this, as well as the fact that the other thing I'll say about this is that anytime there is a white dot, those dots are painted on. So it's really difficult to get your stitches to look neat when you're stitching through them. And I am very fussy and picky about my stitches.
I'm going to pause it for a moment.
Go ahead.
Yep. The dogs are in prison. Actually, they're locked upstairs, but they're in doggy prison right now, so we can keep going.
Okay, so the other, a couple of the other finishes I have is the Glitter House one. I finished that. I've made a decision on these. I am only stitching the house, not all the other stuff around the house. So this is my first one. Here it is. This is on a piece of 14 count coffee tea dyed Ada that a fellow friend of ours gave us. She gave us each a pretty large piece of this. It's so large I can probably get the entire series done on these. The second house is this. And here it is, stitched.
Oh, that's beautiful. And those colors really pop on that fabric now, where before I could see where you thought they were getting lost on the other fabric.
Right, exactly. My intention is, at our house we have a traditional, like Santa kind of themed Christmas tree usually, but we really like to keep the tree up much longer than that because we like the lights and all that stuff. So my hope is to have some of these more wintry kinds of things that then I can switch out the Christmas stuff and put that on instead.
Perfect.
To maybe hold us till like maybe the middle to end of January. All right, so here's the other group of things that I finished. These are, I think you've all probably seen these out and about. These are the sleds. This is the sled dudes from Lizzie Kate. And this is the Night Before Christmas sleds from Lizzie Kate. So in my family, we have a large number of babies. I'll just say that. Grandbabies, nieces, children, whatnots, right? And I like to stitch them all a Christmas ornament of some sort every year. So these are what I've decided to do. I do not have them FFO'd yet. I do have them stitched. They're all on perforated paper.
Oh, that's so cute.
And I've already trimmed the paper out, so they're all done. You'll notice that there are duplicates here, and that's because, you know, multiple households, I can do that and get away with it and not worry about it.
Oh, those are so cute.
That one I'm going to do last. There's this one.
Aww.
Isn't he cute? It's the second one of him. I can stitch usually 2 of these in a day.
Wow.
Because they are so quick to stitch. Especially once you get the pattern down in your head, it's like not so bad at all.
It's almost like you're memorizing the lines a little bit.
Right. Well, like especially with these guys, like I stitched the edging around, the border around the edge and their faces and stuff for both of them. And then I just sat down while we watched TV and stitched the green border, the green fill in.
That's awesome.
So it really is a quick stitch. Snowman.
Oh, he's super cute.
And snowman. And then the very last one I stitched, I did not stitch for the grandkids. I stitched this one for me personally.
Oh, yay!
And there's a personal story behind this. When my mom was alive one year, I think I was in maybe middle school, she sewed a lot. And she sewed those big Christmas mice. Remember those? It would be like a mama mice and like 3 or 4 baby mice, right? So she stitched them for a lot of of my grandparents, right, on both sides of the family, and some friends and stuff, and all these cute Christmassy colored pattern fabrics, right? And she took them a set to my grandparents, and when my grandmother unwrapped them for Christmas, she said, "Oh, well, those are just the cutest bears."
Oh, no.
And from that point on, my mom decided it was her mission to make sure that she gifted my grandmother something with a mouse on it every year.
That's awesome.
And then my mom's kitchen became all mouse stuff.
Okay.
So I had to stitch this little mouse.
Oh, and so cute.
And eventually I would like to have a mini tree in my kitchen with mice stuff on it. I have a whole series, I'll probably bring them at Christmas time, that my mom hand painted. Ceramics that are all mice.
Cute.
So I'm trying to stitch some things to work in with those.
Oh, that would be super
Christmas
cute.
And nice. So those are my finishes. I don't think that's bad for
That's amazing. Needle on fire, I'm telling you.
8 days
Yes.
so far this month. So yeah, not too bad. All right. Do you have haul?
I have haul. Well, I have a little bit of haul.
Haul's good.
So, first piece of haul is from you. Thank you, Beth. Just Cross Stitch Magazine. Love it. Second little bit of haul is from another friend of mine. She gifted me this lovely little Valentine wordplay. And this is one of the things I would love to do. I do a lot of seasonal decorating. So anything that is a monthly series, I love doing those. We very, very much, I would say, in our stitching. You like samplers.
Yes,
you
I
like
do.
Blackbird.
Yeah.
I like holidays and seasonal and cutesy.
And you do more small stuff generally.
I
than
do.
What
I have to have that accomplishment.
Like this for me is a very unusual month where I'm doing all pretty much small
That's
stuff
true.
for Jolly July, right? But for the most part, I do a lot more larger things.
Big
typically.
pieces. You do big pieces.
I
for sure.
do, for sure.
For sure. And I don't. So I love the little monthly series. So thank you from a friend. Again, another little small, a very cute Love You More Valentine's. And I'm almost thinking I might do one of these for each of my 4 kids and maybe somehow incorporate it in Christmas colors for their tree, because when they say they love me, I say love you more. So I thought that was super
That
cute.
is cute.
And then I love a bargain. We all love a bargain.
That's right.
So I went on Facebook Marketplace 2 days ago, and I'm always looking for something unusual, different, something to look through, and I'll show you what I got.
This is amazing. This is amazing. Oh, watch out.
Oh,
Earthquake,
sorry.
folks. Sorry.
So, a whole stack, and you can see how many,
Wow.
of truly vintage, just cross-stitch magazines.
Wow.
So in a couple weeks, I'm going to have surgery on my right arm, and I'm not going to be able to stitch. And so I told myself if I bought these, that this would give me something to look through. These are dated 1984, 1983, 1988. I don't know that I'll do any of the patterns out of these, but it's really hard, I got to tell you, not to look through these right now. I'm saving them for when I come home, and I've got something to do other than stitch. But I did peek in one of them, and there was an article about how to do certain stitching techniques by Pat Carson. So I thought,
Oh, that's cool.
we would have a lot of fun reading. They talk, it's interesting to see the designers in their early years.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to look through and see what has changed in cross stitching. No one really makes geese anymore. If you remember the goose stage, yeah, the goose stage, the bread cover stage.
Yep.
So the birds in the flower stage. So I picked all of these magazines up for a mere $10. So I'm very happy with that haul. And again, I'm going to put it next to my recliner. And when I am feeling better, I will be able to dig through these.
Wow.
And that's it for haul. I think that's all. Oh, I have a project bag coming. I'll show that next time. I bought a new one,
That
so I'm
sounds
excited.
exciting.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting. So, I do have some haul. I thought maybe I would qualify for the Guinness Book of World Records this week. Because I actually went, you ready for this?
Yeah.
I went to Hobby Lobby.
Ooh.
And I went to Joann's.
And you don't go out that much lately.
No, I don't.
No.
Okay. I had to go because I needed some threads.
Okay.
But for the record, I think it's the first time in my life I went to two craft stores. Are you listening, wife? Make sure you note this. These are wife points. Okay. 2 stores.
Okay.
Okay. I spent only $5 on threads only. I bought nothing
really good
else.
for you.
Not even $5 at each store.
That's amazing. Amazing for you.
Isn't it?
Yes,
It is very amazing
It
for
is.
me. Isn't it?
It
Yes,
is.
yes. Because I think, like last year when I went to StitchCon, right? I think I bought more than anybody else there.
I think she brought home the shop. I think she brought it back.
I think so. It was
Yeah.
pretty embarrassing, actually, when
But
I had to go
fun.
home and show it all to my spouse.
Well,
and
then
be
you
like,
just show it
yeah.
in little bits.
Yeah, well, that doesn't help much when that person pays credit card.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so my other haul is I did receive the next 2 in the Snow Village series from Keepsakes this week. Ice Creamery is the first one. I think that is so
Aww.
cute. And the other one is the Iced Coffee Cafe.
Very cute.
And as I was saying earlier, they come with the 2 pieces of fabric you need that's already pre-cut. It's perfect.
That's awesome.
And originally when I first signed up for this, I ordered this and the thread. So in my first order, I got my first chart, my first piece of fabric, and my bundle of threads. So I have all the threads I need and everything, and it's ready to go.
That's easy.
So it was really easy and simple, and I liked that. I find a lot of times if I don't do this, I end up missing pieces of the series,
Oh, yeah.
or my LNS doesn't have some of the called for threads. There's
Sure.
always some kind of something wrong with it. I am on the subscription list for the World of Cross Stitch magazine. So this is my most recent one that came. This is a UK magazine, so I usually get it a little after the fact,
Okay.
but I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. The other one that I received, the other things here I actually purchased at our LNS,
Okay.
which is House of Stitches. I bought a roll of this finishing tape that's double-sided and acid-free. I'm going to use that to finish the sleds that I'm making, those little
That'd be
ornament
perfect.
sleds. I bought the most recent version of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I love this. I particularly love this little eagle design that's here. I have to stitch that. That is going to be amazing when it's done.
I will say the one thing that we do stitch in common is patriotic.
Yes, we do.
We both love patriotic. We
Yeah.
both want a patriotic room in our house.
Right.
Sometime in the future. So we just keep stitching and stitching and stitching and
Right.
stitching patriotic pieces.
We do, definitely. The other thing I bought at my LNS that's out,
Yay!
I know Susan will be excited about
love
this.
Halloween.
Is the new Halloween Just Keep Stitching.
I need
Or
to
Just
get
Cross
that.
Stitch, right? Just Cross Stitch. Yeah, Just Keep Stitching is Pam's
Yes.
stuff. Just Cross Stitch magazine. This has a lot of very cute Christmas Halloween designs in it. I will also hopefully be participating in Darktober.
Oh, good.
So I'm hoping to do quite a few of those then. And then I also bought, this is high commodity, folks, if you know this or not. The brown perforated paper is really hard to find. Like 1, 2, 3 stitches out of it quite often.
Okay.
And so since I'm doing all of those sleds and I needed some, I called my LNS and they had 3 packages left and that was it. And I said,
wow.
could you hold 2 of them for me? I'll be there tomorrow to pick them up.
Sure, sure.
I have several other Christmas ornament things I want to do this month that I plan on doing on perforated paper as well.
Good.
Because for me, that's an easy way to finish a Christmas ornament and be done with it.
Easy and I mean, no sewing, no gluing.
Right,
really.
and it doesn't take, I don't have to go buy a lot of finishing things or whatever to do that.
Sure. That
So
looks
it works
good.
out good.
That'll be great. I've never stitched on perforated paper, so that I should put on my list of things to do.
So this is something you should maybe think about doing when you have your surgery if you need to.
Because that would be easy.
Because that when I had my shoulder surgery a couple of years ago and I couldn't stitch at all right-handed, I can't use my left hand very well, but I could figure out a way to put enough stitches in perforated paper because the holes were big enough and I could use a bigger needle, and that worked okay for me. So that helped
sounds
with my
great.
stitching
That would be a great idea, I think.
issue if I needed to.
So, Beth, what are your plans this coming week? What would you like to do?
So this
stitching-wise?
week, I'm hoping to finish the border on my Blackbird design thing that I started. Believe it or not, I just started that yesterday and got all that border done yesterday. So the border does stitch pretty quickly.
That's good.
So I'm hoping to get the border done to make sure it matches up. I want to do a couple of more lines on my 'Twas the Night. And then I'm going to work away at some more of these small Christmas ornaments that I have
That's
going.
good. It feels good to get them done, and then all you have to do is finish them.
Well, last year I stitched a series of things for my for the kids for Christmas, and they ended up stitching up bigger than I expected. And then I struggled with how to finish them. I struggled so much with it, and I got so anxious about it that it was the week before Christmas, and I had none of them finished.
I remember
so
that.
guess what? They're still not finished. So I'm hoping that later this
Maybe
month,
we'll do it. Yeah.
I'm gonna get out all of my. I have probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 things I finished through Mania as well that aren't Christmas related, but they're finished. I think I'm gonna try and sit down late this month, late in July, and try and have it just finished. I live in a very small house. So, I have to dig through boxes and all this stuff to get it all out. And I don't want to do that every time I have one little ornament to finish.
Right.
So, if I can wait and stack some stuff up and then do it all at once.
Well,
I'm
and then
better
you
at
feel
that.
like, too, like for me, when I'm finally finishing items, it's so much easier because I'm getting out my paper cutter to do the peel and stick sticky board. I'm getting out the glue gun. I'm getting out the sewing machine. So it seems like if I line up in my head what I want to do and what I want to finish, then it's almost like production style where while I'm waiting for the glue on this one to dry, I can be sewing this or it's, it's so much easier that way.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So
what are your plans? I know you've got some things going on.
I've been keeping stitching in my car so that because my commute right now to work is about an hour and a half each way, there and back. So if I get to work early, actually our local LNS, I ordered some thread in the mail and they sent me a heartstring samplery Be Well series. It was one of the complimentary charts. And one of our good friends gave me some beautiful variegated floss by Weeks. It's the azalea color.
Okay.
I happened to have a piece of fabric and I thought, you know what, this floss is so pretty, I can't let it sit.
That'd be
So I'm slowly putting 10, 20 stitches at a time into this little piece. I'm working on a Lizzie Kate Christmas ornament because I do have a bag set aside with ornaments in it for Jolly July.
All right. Okay.
So I'm going to start trying to do more Christmas ornaments this month as well. I'm giving myself some grace and leeway to say that while I'm working so much, I have to remember that it's for my own sanity that I stitch.
Right.
And I just do what I can when I can.
Right.
And it works great that way. So I'm hoping a few more ornaments. Maybe I'll have a couple finishes. If not, I got a lot to show you guys. So lots upstairs.
Right.
So
I just typically I would say I'm probably stitching at least twice, if not 3 times as much as I would if I was working. My days and nights are all messed up.
Oh, I'm sure.
So like normally I'm one of those people that goes to bed at 9 or 10 and I'm up by 5 or 6. I didn't even go to bed till 4:30 this morning.
That'll change things.
So that changes things drastically, right?
Sure.
The house is quiet. It's just, the dog's on the couch snoring next to me. My wife's in bed asleep. So I'm just stitching up a storm.
That's awesome.
So that's why I've gotten so much done. And I'm the kind of person that stitching for me is very much so a stress reliever.
Sure.
And we've had a lot of things in the world happen lately
Absolutely.
that causes all of us to be a little bit more stressed and anxious. And so I find myself stitching even more because of that.
That's great.
So,
That's great.
I like it. I think that at least it's, getting some Christmas stuff done, some gifts done, and some various things that, everybody can enjoy. Right?
That sounds awesome.
Pass it along.
So I hope all of you enjoyed our very first episode.
Yeah, and we're sorry for the shaking and
the dogs. We have to find a solution for my dogs. Ruby and Ted can make appearances, but they're not part of the video. So we'll figure that out. We hope to be doing this every 2 weeks, maybe?
Approximately. Roundabout. Depending on your work schedule and how things are going in the world, so to speak. But our hope is to do them every couple of weeks.
Sounds great.
Yeah, so have a great week, everyone. Happy
Glad
stitching.
you joined us. Bye.